Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Bullhead Gaming here. Today we are going to continue the little informative series that I have decided to make the change for Farming Simulator 2025. For just quick reference, the only reason I've changed it is because making a new farm is not going to be a quality grab that I was hoping for. So I'm going to start with this informative series and then maybe bring in some videos of me just working on the farm. I know it's late, but I have a worker over there planting sorghum. Anyways, today we're going to actually talk on the financial aspects of this game, specifically focusing on return on investment. And we're also going to be talking about production systems. So, in this game, time is not the only thing you have to worry about. You have to worry about your finances as well, alright? Now, the financial aspects are important because that's quite literally how you're going to be able to continue moving forward in your farm. Okay? So, one of the big things in the wealth management, understanding what you truly need. I have a friend of mine, as nice of a guy as he can be, oftentimes like to buy impulsively. Okay? So he would often buy things he didn't necessarily need, or at least things he didn't necessarily need right away, and then wouldn't have enough money for the things he did need. Such as more seed, or, sorry, my cat just paused my game on me. So, what you have to worry about when it comes to your basic finances, aside from the return on investment, which I'll get to in a moment, is don't buy what you need. Or, no, sorry, totally blanked on that. Buy what you need. Okay? Is there a necessity for this truck right now? Not necessarily, which actually, I need to sell this. Is there a full necessity for this truck? Not entirely. But I'm darn well gonna use it. You'll be damn sure on that. I will use this truck. Because this thing actually helps me haul the friggin' 80,000 liters that this thing will pump through. Which, to be honest with you, you can't live without. Alright. Now, the further of it is, be mindful of how much you truly do own as well. Because if you go out and buy, like if I bought this truck and I had zero necessity for it, but I'm like, oh, I need it for the future, that's not wise. Because you're thinking far out, not immediate. Wealth management, oftentimes you have to think immediately, not down the line, because that's what savings is for. That's what saving money is for. Okay? Now, to the real guts of wealth management is your return on investment. Now, return on investment, what does that mean? Return on investment, or ROI for short, is, are you gonna get your money back for starting something? Now, I formerly had chickens. I got rid of said chickens because I got to a point where I said my sorghum was selling for vastly higher amounts of money, considering this last 50,000 liters is the last of everything I have to sell, which, for general reference, I'm selling at now $1,700 per 1,000 liters. So, that's the start of that, first off. Second off, I pumped out over 200,000 liters of sorghum. And the problem is I needed a lot more chickens to accommodate such a price. Oh, I need this one. There we go. Don't know why it took me a second. I'm having a brain fog today. Anyways. So, I got rid of my chickens because I no longer see the return on investment. Now, did I get my money back? Yes. But having to go and take care of that every single year got tedious. So I have decided to turn to production structures, which will be discussed further in the video. Return on investment is also in your fields, okay? So the field 49, the one that should be relatively close to being done planted by now, was a risky buy. That was a $300,000 field that I purchased. But that field alone turns out 200,000 liters all on its own. Okay? 200,000 liters. That's a lot of literage for one simple grab. Okay? For just as simple as running a farm, or running a single field. Okay? That does not account for the other 3 fields that run sorghum every year. So I'm getting about 300,000 liters of sorghum every year, which will in turn sell for close to $400,000, $500,000 every year. I'm not here to do quick math right now, but I could get into calculations down the road. Now then, let's okay, he's on the last row. Alright, beautiful. So, the other thing I have begun to do, which apparently, oops, nope, detach that for now. I have to go get gas for this. So, the other thing I'm doing, pellets. Pellet creation, harvesting. So what am I doing? I'm taking bales from my wheat and turning it into straw pellets. These straw pellets will then be used for added sales. Because at the end of the day with that, you're looking at 14,000. I mean, I put, I think, 3 or 4 bales into that right away and was already over halfway full. So, that's a different investment. That's another, all that gear I spent almost $600,000 on all that gear. And that's my baler, that's the loader, that's the Zator tractor, which is really turning out not to be a great investment, but it'll do for now. The front loader attachment from Quickie, or Quick A, I don't know how you pronounce it, but if I butchered it, I'm sorry. The bale fork, that's the Premium 5000, which was $320,000 on its own, sorry. $320,000 there. And the bale shredder, I believe, was about $115,000. Oh, sorry. I was way off. Wow. $31,900. Okay. I was so far beyond right on that. Alright, but this one thing right here, these two alone were $350,000. So I spent a lot of I do need another one for other stuff, as is, I need a 515, I think? I mean, it's done 90 grand, but what's my... Yeah, I need a 515. Okay. I'm still going to grab it because it's 41. It's like 40. It's almost half off. And I'll keep the coloring as is because I'm going to use that differently. But that's alright. Anyways. Ooh. This is a miss spot. Okay. Now I can finally make it daytime. Actually, I'll wait till this folds. Then I will. Now, you always want to be strategic about your field placement as a whole. Actually, sorry. Jumping ahead. The entire equipment, all this equipment here, plus the tractor, which the Zator... How much was that Zator anyways? Who was this guy? This guy, was it this guy? No. Yes, it was. I think it was the Crystal HD. Yes, it is. Okay. So, the Crystal HD 170. $130,000 for the tractor. another 320,000 for the Premio, 32,000 for the shredder. You also have to factor in the loader, which I believe was 90,000. Just so I can show you here. So here, yeah, 90,000 here. So right there between the loader, the shredder, the pellet maker, and between these two, and the loader and tractor, that's already over $500,000. In fact, that's actually closer to $600,000. All right, $600,000. And this little guy was only like $1,000, so it's remedial because the thing is not very expensive. This guy was like $200,000 for the windrower attachment. This is what I was looking for. Alright, so there's a lot of investment to think about. That's a $700,000 system. However, here's the thing that, for myself, I'm thinking about. This is a profit point at the end of the year. Okay? Profit points matter the most. Because you gotta think about it. Okay, I have this amount in profit. I need to... Hey, I missed one. I didn't realize I missed one. I have this very, very specific profit point that I need to focus on. And if I don't focus on the profit point, I'm going to have a bigger problem on my hands. Because that means that's more money I'm going to have to spend out of pocket. I don't want to do that. You see, I want to make sure I'm making the right investments at the right times to make sure I'm walking away with enough money. Okay. Now, the other thing, to segue into it, with your return on investment, is talking about animals and production lines. Okay? Because your production lines also require the either land purchasing on top of equipment purchasing, so this is buying the building, the construction work, or buying the building straight out, in the case I'm going to be using soon. Not to mention the fact that you also have to factor in maintenance costs, property maintenance, equipment maintenance. I believe they should call it either operation or runtime costs. Let me see, actually. I need this guy. Because I'm actually going to be buying this. Costs per month. Okay, so it doesn't actually say it, but you're right here. $60 a month just to run that. Okay. Now, obviously, if I'm going to run, well, I'm planning to run this, but obviously, as you can see, there is no grain mill purchasable. So, construction menu. First off, very simple to work with this. Like, you can just use your standard movement buttons to move around, and oftentimes it'll tell you up here. Now, I don't need a bakery. I'm going to buy a bakery. I need a grain mill, which is this guy. I hope to God this is... What am I clashing with? It says it overlaps... Oh, the tree. I see it. I'm going to put it where I put all these. Okay. So, I have production now. And with that production means I can start to move my grain over. I have to move all the eggs over at some point too, but we will worry about that another time. I'm going to grab this guy. No, get that done. Now, with production lines, this is a compare and contrast part I'm going to do before getting into finer details. There are two ways I like to portray production structures. Or production lines, I should really say, not structures. That's a structure. That's not a line. The first one is multi-stage production lines. So this is where an intermediate item is being sent to another location to then be used for further production. Am I right out the... Oh, really? I'm like a half inch off. Damn thing. Now, in my particular case, I'm going to be making bread by using wheat flour, which will be in turn, if I can get this stupid thing around. Hate the snow. Which will then in turn be used for, from the wheat I have harvested. Okay. Now, the other way you can think about it, coming back to here, we will go to a sawmill. Here we go. This is a perfect idea, because I actually want to run one of these at some point too. I'm actually really excited for this. Now, single line productions. Okay? Single line production methods are you take one thing, you sell the next thing, the thing that comes out. Now, in this particular case, the plants can be used for... That's 33. Yikes. So this here is a lot to think about. I will come back to you with the actual understanding of this. I'm going to do some research on Reddit and on public forums and see what people are saying about the cycles, because this is definitely different between 22 and 25. But regardless, all four of these are items that can be sold immediately after. You can go to carpentry with some of these things, like the 10 planks, and make furniture. Which actually, you're better off. Anyways, I'm getting distracted. I'm distracting myself. I need to stop doing that. So, the way it simply works. One line, a single stage production line is take it from one spot, you'll take the recipe, do the recipe through, sell what you get. Okay? That's all that is. Multi-stage production lines are an intermediary product is sent to a different location to be used for a separate product to be then sold later on. Oh, man. God damn it. I forgot I had those there. Where's my forklift? Come here, you. We gotta move eggs. That guy's gonna get moved. That whole truck and trailer is gonna get moved over to the bakery, because I gotta buy the bakery. Now, what's the, the big thought of it? What's truly the difference? Well, money is the difference. Return on investment. Okay? Because you don't know how long these are going to take, and you don't really know if in a year's time you're going to make enough money to walk away from it. Okay? You don't know what you're going to be able to walk away with come time to actually formally sell your finished products. Okay? And if you walk away with good money, great. You walked away with good money. That's perfect. But if you didn't, then that's unfortunately a lot of wasted money. Unless you got your money back. Like in the case of like bakery and stuff, the bakery alone actually comes out to around $500 more per 1,000 liters, or per pallet, than eggs do. So eggs sold at about $25.52 on my save. And sorry, oh my god, getting easily distracted tonight. I apologize. The eggs were 25.52. The bread was 3,053. Okay. So you're looking at a pretty handsome difference in rough comparison. Because that $500 every year on every pallet will make a big difference. Now, if I could just get this stupid pallet lined up, I can definitely be a little more focused on moving forward. Now, the way you can make it easy on yourself, you do not have to pick up every pallet of flour. You can very easily change how it's handled. How do you do that? Within your owned production lines. That is very inaccurate. Very. Well, looks like an entire piece of eggs. Anyways, how do you look? You go here. You go here to your production chains. Then you go to your grain mill. You can see right here, 126,000 liters. And it can hold a maximum of 60,000. That's on top of the, I believe, 6 or 10 it allows you to store outside. Okay. Oh, that's a lot. That's going to be a lot of flour pumping. So I'm going to activate this. Actually, no, deactivate that. I am going to set my wheat flour, in this particular case, to distributing. So right here, down here, change output mode. Distributing will send all intermediary products to another location. In this case, it'll be the bakery. So, without further ado, let's pay a wee visit. Actually, first, let's fill. Let's get this filled up. Now, the recipe is, if I remember rightly, the cycle. Is it the same here? God only knows. I would love it to stop snowing. Uh-oh. Close enough. Wow, that fucking sucked. God damn it. Once this fills, which actually should be, I'll just hop out of the vehicle. Yep. Okay, let's grab my little guy. Where's my little guy? Oh, I sold it. That's right. Forgot about that. Well, since I need you over there anyways. Now. All that's going to happen is, very simply put, just going to run it through. It's going to be like every other day. But now, it's a little less on your time aspects. So there's less you have to do. Okay, there's a piece of that, we're going back to that piece of return on investment, being time. When you start a production chain in Farming Sim, you can have it set to just sell on its own. I'm not, because I want to sell in mass quantities when it's most highly demanded. Okay. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here, which the bakery should be the light blue icon coming up, which should be just before the barn there. Here we are. Oh, I passed it. Damn it. Ah, that's a sidewalk. That is not a road. Hold on. Let me turn around here somewhere. Ah, here we go. There's the apartment complex. Excuse me, folks. Just, got passed through quick. I, made a wrong turn. Sorry to wake you up in your morning. Gonna have to get up soon anyways. What the fuck was that? It just did a little hop. That was awesome. My truck did a little hop like a bunny. That's great. Anyways. Okay, so... the bakery, my last stage of the production chain, will be where it is stored. Now, the drop point, or sell point, is, in fact, right where I'm driving. But I'm not going to use it that way. I am going to be using it from this... Oh! This is going to be a sharp angle. Oh, boy. Okay. Looks like I'm going to be actually going that way. I was going to try to pull it around, but I don't think I'm going to have the gap for that right away. This is a 50-foot trailer, a 45-foot trailer that I'm moving around. Anyways. Now. Now, obviously to buy, just go to the gear, or go to the wrench, sorry, and you'll see an interaction point up in the top left corner. Buy, 150 grand, purchased. Okay, so now I own the bakery. So I am going to activate the bread flour production here. Okay. I am now going to fill this up even more. And then, hopefully the snow will stop. No, the snow's supposed to stop anyways. Oh. Well, that's a crock of crap. And it's all day snowing. Well, this will certainly monkey up my schedule. Oh! Damn snow. I gotta get a snowblower for my friggin' area. Now, once I load this next batch in of wheat, I can then turn on, well, I can turn it on now, technically. I will then turn on the production. So now, when the flour is done, and the flour gets burned through and it's ready to go, the bread will start to produce as well. So, I'm going to come to here, go to my purchased grain mill, and turn on the wheat flour production. You can actually hear it right now over the vehicle. Now, this will start to produce here, okay? You'll see your outgoing production down here and what's going to be distributed next month. But you already see we're taking like every couple of seconds in real time, or 2 seconds in real time, and we're already up to almost 20 liters. So that says something as to where you're going, as to where it's going. One last run through for the wheat, and then I have to halt till the next month. Now, return on investment in productions and in animals are very, very difficult to factor, okay? Because when it comes to your productions, you have to worry about a couple of factors, that being your cycles per month, which in this case, 2,520, which are near 1-to-1 wheat to flour. So 2,000 times this recipe will run when I decide, okay, my work is done, I'm going to go into the next month. This recipe will run this many times. And I will pay out the $24 or however much it's going to pay after the fact. Now, this will not get any, so this shouldn't get anything right away until we get more production. Alright? It will move, I believe, every 1,000 liters. So when you're at 1,000 liters, that's what will move the production. Once you're ready to sell your production, you sell it. And then you stop and say, okay, is this worth my time? Is this worth my money? With animals, it's a little harder because there's the maintenance and movement is you. There's no output changing. At least I don't think there is. I didn't see any personally. I don't have any more animals anymore, obviously. But at the end of the day, the production will have less maintenance, but might not have a lot of extra money. Or it might not be timely. Alright? Now, in my case, I want to actually get wool. However, I might actually change to cotton, given the fact that it's 2,400 cycles on the exact same recipe ratio. The reason being, well, let me show you. Where's the clothing? Clothes sells for a rough range of 12,227 to 19,726. Okay? It sells for a lot. And fabric even sells for a lot of money at most of 9,232. So I can kind of go two ways with this. Kimchi. Ooh, what do you need for kimchi? That's not a bad ratio. You could kind of... Yo, I need to see what that recipe is, actually. That's got to be in the... Hold on. That's got to be in this. Kimchi. 20 napa cabbage. 2 garlic, 2 spring onion, 2 chili peppers. Gives you 42 kimchi. Kimchi? Kimchi. That's... Wow. That's not bad at all. That is not bad at all. Food for thought for later. Now, I'm going to talk about animals in the next video because I do want to have an animal production at some point again. But the chickens, to me, were just not selling well enough. And I don't know how well the sheep will sell for. So, oh boy, I'm really struggling tonight. I apologize. So, the other thing I want to bring to front briefly is the fact that the straw pellet harvesting, which I am actually going to start momentarily. I just need to get one worker. We'll have... Actually, I'll have this one go and do the planting, the fertilizer real fast. But the straw pellet harvesting, or the straw pellet creation, is a little easier as a bale shredder. From the last video, I did note how much more difficult it was than the shredder method. So I'm going to show you the difference. That way you guys can see it and be like, oh yeah, the $32,000 is worth the investment. So let's grab the little guy. Oh no, I don't need that. Get off. Don't need you. Just need you for now. Then I'll scoop that bale right there and bring it over. So the way this works, all you do is get in, turn it on, or hook it up, turn it on, and then go and get a bale. Which I do need to be careful with this particular tractor because it's almost out of gas. And I don't have a tanker yet. That's probably something I should consider soon enough. Alright, grab my Zator. See if this thing can even get going in the snow. Okay. Easiest part about this is all you gotta do is just line this up just right. Point them down a little bit. Close enough. It's in the fork. We're alright. Now, we're gonna tilt this up because I have a feeling I'm gonna get launched. Oh no, I didn't. And now we very simply bring it all the way over here. I'm gonna hop out of this, turn on the shredder. And we will then go from there. Okay. Come over to the other tractor. Okay. You can hear it on. Now, this is an 8,250 liter bale that we're going to now load onto the conveyor. Really easy. It's a lot easier than you think. Gotta fix my counterbalancing here. Okay. Actually, oh. Come on. Mouse keyboard working on this is very finicky. Okay. And now, make sure it's moving. Yep, we're moving. So now, all it's going to do is just move its way on over. Without any extra work. All it's going to do is very slowly move this into the shredder. The shredder will then turn it into the pellets, and you will make your money. And with that, I think I've given quite a bit of information to help out with you guys for this particular video. So, with that, if you guys enjoyed this video and you want to see more, please feel free to hit that like button. If you want to see more and you find yourself coming back, please hit that subscribe button, and you will be seeing more of Farming Sim as well as more of Hitman and Fallout in the future. With that, I bid thee farewell. Be well, everyone, and have a good day. Bye-bye.